It's about time.
This is the latest either of us have ever been. I apologize. Your time is
Either of us. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
and it's valuable, and your time is valuable to you. I think this Logitech G Hub has infiltrated my computer and is slowly dismantling it from the inside. Because when I restart my computer now, the Logitech G Hub error window pops up, and I just have to keep knocking them down. I got to play whack-a-mole. Pop up, whack it down. I don't know, 35 times when I start my computer up. And like, how long should it take to start up a desktop? That took 6 minutes.
Yeah. That sounds like a computer problem, not a
Yeah.
I have G Hub too, and it doesn't bother my computer.
No, I know. We were joking last time about the shittiness of G Hub, so I'm going to blame
It's
it on
not
that.
great.
No, it's not great. It's
Sounds
not
like
great.
that time to get a PC like an adult.
I don't know if I'm ready for adulthood. You know, I like this computer, but I don't know. I don't know. It's starting to, when the seed gets planted and you're like, in the way back of your head, it's only a matter of time now between, like the fuse has been lit. I'm buying a new computer. But in the front of my mind, I'm still not admitting it.
It sounds like there's an actual issue with your computer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what more reason would you
lug
need?
This thing into the Apple Store, but I'm probably going to have to.
Speaking of things that don't work, dude, the last 2 nights, and this is not the first time this has happened. The last 2 nights all of our smoke detectors have gone off.
You were mentioning that this was a problem like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. And last night, 1 a.m., they all went off.
You're kidding me.
And then, no, 2 nights ago, they at 1 a.m., they went. Last night at 4 a.m., they all went off again. Every time the weather changes and the temperature goes from every time. I was listening to the news last night, the weather, and he's like, it's going to be in the 50s overnight. It's gorgeous here. It's going to be in the 50s. I'm like, I know our smoke detectors are going to go off because it's 80 during the day, and anytime it drops that much, they go off. So I'm going to spend like $1,000 on smoke detectors today. Get these. The ones we have fucking don't work, man. It's unacceptable. Can't do this anymore.
How many times have they gone off before you finally decided to buy new ones?
A dozen.
That's crazy.
Like a dozen nights.
Crazy. I mean, 2 nights in a row, maybe 3, and they would have been out of there.
So it's not in a row. But it's been over the course of a year.
Right. So you get enough distance between incidents that you forget how irritated you were.
It's like, you know what? Maybe they fixed themselves. And so I was home, Sarah was out of town, and I was here by myself. This is months ago. And they went off twice in the same night. And I'm reading on the internet, everyone's having the same problem. They're like, get the compressed air, and you shoot it. It's like dust, and something with the temperature and the dust that accumulates makes it happen. Okay, so I'm like, I'm going to go to Target, and then you go to Target, and the compressed air is behind a case for some reason. I don't know.
People,
I guess that's
huff it. They get high on it somehow.
Yeah. Well, now I know what I can do with the rest of my compressed air. So you buy an entire can of it, like you're ever going to use a full can. So I came home. I had to like have someone help me get it, and I bought it. Came back, and I came down to my basement office, this room, and I'm like, I'm gonna do all of them. We have like 10 throughout the house. I'm like, I'm just gonna do them all. And I pulled the first one off the ceiling, and I shot it with the compressed air, and they all went off again. Every single one of them. And like, this isn't going to work.
Is that a stupid question?
I don't know if it's stupid. They are. They're connected to one another. But dude, And so
is there like a central control panel or something? Or do
I
you
don't think
control
so.
them just from each individual? That same one button that's been on smoke detectors since.
Yeah. It's even worse. So they all went off when I did that. And then I found out inadvertently that there's like a whole net menu system that I got into
one button?
from that one button. I held it down too long and it started searching for all the other smoke detectors and it couldn't fucking find them. They all go off. They all go off when one goes off, but all of a sudden when you try to find the other ones,
somewhere out there,
no,
did it start searching for all the other smoke detectors in the world?
it could have, I don't know, it did, or at least in that room, and it couldn't find a single one. But it made like a submarine radar beep, pew, 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 and it wouldn't stop. Until I somehow cycled through the menu again. And there's no display. There's nothing.
I know. It's limited with your options. It's great.
Kitty smoke detectors are the worst, man. We had a guy come do some work at this house, and it just everything he recommended was just ended up being wrong. And this is one of them.
That's almost as hard to do as to get them all right. Right? To have everything be a disaster. I mean, this sounds terrible. I'm sorry. Like I would imagine that being awoken from your sleep a dozen or so times would be pretty aggravating.
Yeah, especially when it's not just like a thunderstorm rolling through.
Right.
It's every smoke detector in your house going fire, fire. Yeah. The first time it happened was awful. Now I just get up and go to the bathroom because they go off by themselves. Like you don't even turn them off. They right. Beep. They scream for 10 seconds and then they're done. But the damage is done.
And we haven't even discussed the risk of the Boy Who Cried Wolf factor here, where
you're right.
Your house could very easily burn down right now, and you'd be none the wiser.
I'd be sleeping and I'd be going to the bathroom. I'd be laying in bed waiting for it to burn down. So that's on my list of things to do today.
I was going to ask you a question about this that I was really excited, but then I started laughing and I lost track. It was about the smoke detectors. I don't remember. So do you know which ones you're going to replace the shitty ones with?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to do the Nest ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're more expensive. They're like they're $120 each, and we need 8 or 9 of them.
Ooh.
Whatever, man. I don't care. The ones we got were cheap. They were like $50, and they don't work. They don't work. Just give me ones that don't wake me out of a.
I would imagine that, like with the Nest ones, you at least can pick up your phone and.
Yes, them, right? That's right. And you can. There's so many more controls. There's an actual UI that you can look through, and. What's funny is these smoke detectors. I've lived with sensitive smoke detectors. The apartment you were in that one time, that basement apartment had every time I cooked, it went off. These ones don't go off when I cook. They just go off when the temperature changes. Like they're not even smoke detectors.
Like it's kind of impressive that they're able to detect subtle changes in their climate. I don't know why. I mean, I guess it's impressive, right? It's cool that they can do that. Rich, alert. The weather has changed. The weather has changed. What if that's what they said?
Yeah, heads up. It's cold outside now.
You might get chilly.
They just got to remarket them as temperature change detectors.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Was that basement apartment your favorite place you've ever lived?
That was pretty cool.
Like taking marriage off the table, obviously.
Yeah, right. For the time in my life that I lived there, yeah, that was great.
That was a cool place.
I was definitely
just tell you loved it.
I lived there for 6.5 years.
Yeah,
that was a long time. But yeah, that was a good place. What about yours? What was your
Seattle. That concrete bunker that I
That
lived
was a
in.
cool. That was a cool loft.
Yeah. It was like the first apartment I've ever been not embarrassed to bring someone to. So that wins.
It didn't. That was
Far
the
and
first
away.
apartment. Yeah, it's the first place you lived that didn't have like an exterior wooden staircase to get to the
Yeah,
front door.
exactly.
That's always
an open staircase.
that's how you know, man. It's
Yeah.
a college apartment. It's got an exterior wooden staircase.
Yeah, man, that's where that was probably it. I was there for 3 years. I was kind of done with it by the time I was ready to go. Like I had almost outgrown it. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be 40 living in that apartment, right? That's not the apartment for a 40-year-old. It can be, but it isn't.
You had moved away from there well before you were 40,
Yeah,
right?
I did. Yeah. Well, yeah, 34, 35.
Mm.
36. I think I came to New York when I was 36 because I've been here for 5 or 6 years. 35. I don't know. I'll figure it out at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Allison and I have been together for almost 7 years now, which is nuts.
That's true. That's a good point. Living in when did I move out of that place? I think I was
Like
30.
you didn't want to be 40 in a basement apartment.
No. Yeah, you're
You know what
right.
I mean? But like, boy, was it perfect for that time of our lives.
Mm-hmm. It was all about it's all about location at some point and having your own place.
Yes, those are the two things. I don't know if I should say that. I think I can say it because of the circumstances. So, you've met my buddy Lemon, bit of a womanizer. Ladies like him, handsome chap. He came to visit in Seattle, and can't actually say this story. We'll just leave this one for later. It's a good one, and it tied perfectly into our conversation, but I probably shouldn't have named names. Anyway, we have
There he goes.
we all have apartments, and those apartments are places that we sometimes live, and then sometimes we have to leave, and it is sad. Have you ever watched? You have watched, Dave. I got you to watch an episode, right?
Yes.
The season 3 finale is worth checking out. It's Brad Pitt's in it, and I love him. Right? Like, do you love Brad Pitt, or do you find him annoying because everyone else likes him?
I don't find him annoying. I'm not in love with Brad Pitt.
You're not in love with him?
No.
Did you used to be?
Sorry, Brad.
Weird way to put it.
I've grown apart from Brad Pitt.
In love with Brad Pitt, and there's something about him. There's just something about Brad Pitt that makes him, I don't know, just kind of makes me smile. It makes me feel like, that's a cool guy. You know, this cool guy over here.
Oh, he's
anyway,
definitely
it's a great
cool.
episode. You should check it out. I would love to hear your thoughts and feelings, your T's and F's. Do you want to
T's and F's? You got it. Did you get it?
No, but I can download it right now.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Why don't you start the download in the middle of the thing, and then we'll do it. No, I thought we wanted to look at the analytics. I see you've made some comments on our own videos saying
like that.
Josh Selkovitz commented, "I really wanted to hear the end of Josh's grocery rap." Yeah, you got it, man. Let's pull these up. Don't download it now. It's gonna mess with your
okay
internet. Download it after the thing, and then let's do that next time.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see here. Baptist pastors. I pulled up YouTube and it was Baptist pastors received the Holy Ghost.
Well, why don't we just take a quick peek?
Okay. Are you doing it or am I doing it?
To conserve this energy, the console needs to shut down instead of sleeping when you turn it off.
All right. Let me go ahead and
that's what your Xbox says when you haven't turned it on in a year. Oh, check this out. I just got this. This is the first one I've tried. Have you ever had these before? It's La Colombe. and
Yeah.
it's a vanilla latte.
Let's hold on. Let's see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See,
I had La Colombe cold brew this morning, but those are good.
it's a little too. It tastes like artificially sweet, right?
Mm.
Like it tastes like vanilla syrup.
Can't have that. Well, you can have that. It's delicious.
Yeah. Although it doesn't have that in it. It has cane sugar, vanilla extract, and it has disodium phosphate and trisodium phosphate. It has lactase enzyme, gellan gum, and vitamin D3.
It's got all the hits.
All the big ones.
Everything you want in a coffee. All right, so I don't know how to do this. Do you know how to find whatever it is we're looking for?
I don't think I'm logged in.
Yeah, I can.
No, I don't.
It. Community about. Let's see more about this channel. Yeah. How do you look up analytics? I'm trying to get there before I don't want to like browse through while I'm in the. I'm showing the page while I don't know what's possibly sensitive info.
You poke around and let me see.
Yeah. Because I think that would be funny. I'll tell you what, we have done a lot.
Yes.
Episode. How many have we done here? Let's see. There's 4.
Gives you a summary of the sort of viewers watching your videos. The key metrics card shows your returning and new viewers, unique viewers, and subscribers. You also get reports for videos growing your audience's online activity across your channel.
Okay, Creator Studio. I think this is probably analytics. There we go.
Audience
Let's take a look here.
Yeah.
Window. Boom.
Boom. We should have information about like how long people watch the video, stuff like that. Okay, cool. 62 views in the past 28 days. Hey, that's more than a view a day, my guy.
Look at this guy. What are you working for, NASA? Figuring out that math? So yeah, 62 days, 62 views in the last month. Watch time 16 hours. That's a lot. It's greater than it's 999% more than the previous 28 days. Have you been watching these? I don't watch them anymore. I think my sister watches them sometimes.
Yeah. So what is the time period that we're looking at here? All time?
28 days.
Okay, so we gained 2 subscribers in the last month?
So from basically July 4th to today.
Well, that's pretty impressive. 2 subscribers? You kidding me?
We had 0.9 viewers on Thursday, July 13th.
Okay, so look below at the average view duration.
Okay. 15
that's
seconds.
Fascinating. Is that episode 1?
Yeah.
And we got 5 views for 15 seconds. That's not good for engagement. But look how long people are watching for.
They were over it after 3 seconds.
I'm shocked at these numbers.
I think my sister watches them when she's doing work and stuff.
Man, you're the best.
But like
thank you for pumping up our analytics.
50 minutes. Yeah, there you go. So
it can't just be you and I at this point. We can't. You got to throw that off the table.
I think my mom watched some.
I can't even get my own mom to watch. You have a bad podcast when your own mother doesn't watch.
I was watching this story on. I watched those airplane streams I've told you that. Guy films LAX.
Yeah.
He said they did something on him on CBS Saturday morning, and they kind of showed, did a little story on his streaming, and they're like a big one of the most popular places for this, and the guy pulls like a couple thousand people each time he streams. But they show it. They went to some nursing home, and they're like, every time he shows it, we wheel him in and we just put it up on the TV, and all the nursing home residents watch this guy. I'm like, that's a great idea. We got to find what a nursing home residents want to watch, because they are a captive audience. Literally, they're not going anywhere. Just wheel them
Maybe
in.
we just do a slideshow of their grandkids.
Yeah. That's
what they like. They like their grandkids.
That's all you got to do, man.
Just make it about the grandkids, and you're set.
So what's an impression here? Total number of times your video thumbnail was shown to viewers.
Yeah, like if you're scrolling through YouTube and you see the thumbnails.
And then only 16% of the time someone actually clicked on it.
That's, again, pretty high. For no promotion, no graphics on it, nothing that says 3 ways to learn how to cheat the IRS. This one thing could have you a millionaire tomorrow.
Yeah.
But watched your content within the, what's it say?
Selected. Yeah.
Well, it's not a very high number, but if someone, if I were to go back to the same video and watch it, close it out, go back to the video, watch it, close it out, would that pump up our viewer statistics, or does it count that as like one unique viewer? I guess we don't know. Okay,
probably
so
one
impressions,
probably
and how they.
So, but this says 20. I don't understand this.
Okay,
Why
that's interesting.
Different.
That's really interesting. So this is saying, because this is just the last week, and it's saying that of the 22 impressions that it saw over the last week, here, move your mouse. We got 4 views from those impressions. And from those 4 views, we got 3 hours of watch time. That's bonkers.
Is this must be for everything then, not just this one video?
Yeah, but that's okay. Think about that. This is, I think, why this is interesting is because it's data telling us that of the times that people are fed our content and see the thumbnail, what happens?
Again, I think this is kind of skewed towards maybe literally my mom watching some of these.
Well, no, hold on. So how does your mom find it? That's the question.
She asked me.
Because
she asked me.
How does she find the video? Do you send it to her?
No, I just say search for this. And
okay, so scroll down. YouTube search terms. 25% of our traffic comes from that. Impressions are different. I'm assuming that means that if someone searches for Rich and Josh, we get a quarter of our traffic there, which is how I find it. Yeah. Because even though I watch our podcast all the time, it will never suggest it to me. If I just press the search bar on YouTube, it will, the first thing right there is Rich and Josh Show. So it knows I watch it all the time, but I think because it's alive, it's not going to feed it to me. We talked about that last time. But
yeah, maybe.
If that's true, that of the 22 impressions, of the 22 people this was presented to, that netted out 3.3 hours of viewership, that's crazy.
Audience. 2 returning viewers.
Okay. 3 unique viewers. So that's got to be you and I, right? Or your mom.
I mean, I have it pulled up right now. I'm watching it right now. So this is I always put it up here just to make sure that if anything funky happens, I can tell.
Also,
And I like it.
the watch time from subscribers is 0, which is definitely us. We're both subscribed. So that means that someone is stumbling upon this and watching it.
Yeah.
Hey, whoever you are, we love you. Reveal yourself to us. Don't forget to comment and smash that like button
Ring the bell for notifications.
and ring the bell for notifications.
There you go. Comment, like, subscribe. Well, yeah. There you have it.
I can tell you're completely disinterested in all of this, and there's a reason why. And I want to take a stab at why.
Let's hear it. Yes.
There's a missing piece between you think this is all us or people we know.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I know you.
That's it. You got it, man. I don't. Oh, revenue. Yeah, revenue per transaction. How many? Oh, we didn't get any revenue per transaction.
It's
0.
cool to see how much you can do here, though.
It is. Look at all this.
Can you go up to cities?
Yeah. One city. Good.
Oh, it's literally the number of cities.
That's very,
it's a little
very
misleading.
helpful. Very helpful. Thanks.
Go to
Watch time hours. There we go. From that one city. Somebody watching for an hour and a half.
So watch time is green views.
That's how long they are, man. That's how long the videos are. Like an hour and a half. But you rarely
Right, so
go over that.
What's this discrepancy between views? Oh no,
This is all the last one we did.
Right. So I'm thinking the reason I think it's interesting is because it's probably Shira.
Maybe.
It's probably Shira or one of Shira's friends who watched the episode she was on. But I don't. I think it would be hard to argue that someone outside of our ecosystem watched, like an entire episode or two.
I don't think that's likely.
Okay. Well, hey. Eventually,
Dude,
YouTube we'll get you. We'll wear you down. We're coming. Can't stop. We don't give a shit if anyone's watching. We're just going to keep going.
We've been doing this aimlessly for the last 6 months. When are we going to get rich and be able to quit our jobs? I mean, I don't know how much longer it would take to do this.
You know what the nightmare scenario is here? You just described it. If we start making money off of this to the point where we can quit our job, like that is not a life. There's no quicker way to destroy a lifelong friendship than to start entertaining each other for money and depending on that to, provide for your family.
Yeah, not going to happen.
That'd be horrible. Yeah.
Not going to happen. Couple people watching on one person watching on their tablet.
That's me.
Mobile phone, TV. I have it on a Chromecast.
Okay, so maybe it is just us.
It's just the two of us. It's all good.
YouTube product.
Yeah, we watch it on YouTube. Okay. Only 3 views. 3 out of the 4 views were on YouTube. Where was the other one?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Maybe like
let's check the revenue per transaction on this one. Nothing. Okay, we didn't get any revenue.
Thank God our friendship is safe.
For those transactions. What transaction is there? Let's pick a different one. Let's go back to let's pick the one with the most views.
Yeah, why are we poking around on something that only has one thing to graph?
Yeah. All right.
So go back to views total.
X. This is what I want to do. There we go. Okay. We're still on this video. Channel analytics. There we go.
Okay, yeah. So just scroll down through the list here vertically.
We can probably sort. No, maybe not. Let's see which one had the most. Okay.
with Sydney.
That's this one.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
Sid, like all of Sid's family watched.
Got it. Yeah, 8 people. She pulls the viewership.
Yeah, Sydney brings in big viewership. I wonder if she's still watching. Sid, if you're watching, text me.
There's 4 people watching.
Comment.
One of them's me. Yeah, there's a whole chat thing, and we can actually put the chats up here. Anyway,
well, put them up there, bro.
There's nothing there.
Well, how do you know? You're not giving the people a voice.
So I can't force people to voice. Geography. Still nothing.
Force you to voice.
8 geographies on July 12th.
Well, I mean, if there's one thing that makes me feel like I could really get my head around my audience, it's the integer value of how many geographies are watching my video.
Yeah, agreed. It's very important information to know.
Right. Well, how many geographies watched you? 8. Oh, okay.
8.
Now I get it. 8 geographies is good. That actually is pretty good. So 8 geographies. Me, you, 1, 2, Sid. Sid's family is 3. Maybe Pittsburgh is 4.
I wish it would tell you, because there's always something funny. It's like Kathmandu, like Nepal. Really? Someone, yeah, it's some IP, like, some IP address that's being rerouted through what do they call those things?
It'd be nice to know where, so that we can really focus our marketing budget on the Nepalese people, if that's where our message is resonating.
Yeah, we start getting sponsors from Sherpas and things like that.
Age and gender.
Nope. Undisclosed.
Cool.
Undisclosed.
We don't skew female or male. Playback location.
We're for the people in general.
Yeah.
Playback location. YouTube watch page and browse features. What the fuck is a browse feature?
Useless. Okay, go to one. Okay, average view duration 22 minutes. So literally stopped watching after Sid left. Yeah.
Yeah, we got nothing, man. I mean, who wants to watch this?
Who wants to watch 2 dudes in their 40s talk about anything that comes into their head?
I can't keep up with it. It's exhausting. It's exhausting to listen to.
I think this is very entertaining. I think the only problem is that we have long. I don't know if it's a problem. I was going to say we have long periods of time where just nobody is going to listen. There's just nobody who's interested in what we're talking about.
That's how it goes, though, man. This isn't like primary entertainment. Just like like a very few radio shows are like that. And that's what this is most like.
No,
right?
That's not true.
You kind of tune in and tune out.
A radio show works backwards from what will entertain people. What we're working backwards from is what will entertain us. That's a very key difference. And I like the way we do it. I think that needs to remain our North Star.
That's the only way to do it. I'm not doing it if it's the other way around. I gotta be honest. I'm not doing that.
So which one had the most organic viewership?
How do you find that?
Well, just not with Cindy is what I mean.
Okay.
Not a guest.
Episode 30.
Isn't that Shira?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, only 7. This video has gotten 7 views since it was published.
That's
boom.
Shocking to me.
Yeah, let's see how we found these people. Reach 42 impressions. 2.4% from YouTube recommending your content. So it did show up
to someone.
It showed up to somebody who had no idea.
You want
to look for it.
Do you know how to edit a thumbnail? Edit the thumbnail on the YouTube video?
No, I've never done it. I'm sure I could try.
Well, I could try too. I have the login information. I bet if we were to put lettering over the thumbnail, those numbers would jump dramatically.
This is the thumbnail right here, I think, for that video. Maybe that's why.
Right.
This is a
Well, of
cool
course.
video. This I love that. I love that one. It's supposed to just the let me see. Can I get back to because I want to see where it has all the videos. There it is. So instead of like this and this, it's got this.
I mean,
Two of them are in the top. Two of them are in the top 6. Maybe that has something to do with it. This maybe not.
I'm going to hard disagree on
What
this
the
one.
fuck did we? What the
I
fuck
think
did
if
we talk
anything,
about?
it's hurting.
What you don't the logo? This.
Yeah, I mean, not as a thumbnail. I think it's a great logo, but I think as a thumbnail, it's not like dynamic enough. I don't know.
Dynamic.
I don't think I'd click on it, is what I'm going on. If I saw that, it wouldn't make me curious enough. It would look to me like someone who didn't know how to make a thumbnail. And if that person doesn't know how to make a thumbnail, I probably don't want to watch their video.
Got it.
And what's impressions click-through rate? I love
How often?
statistics. I just
Great.
love them.
I do too. Did I tell you? Here's a quick statistics story.
Ooh, I love statistics stories too.
They're the best. This is definitely going to make our viewership go up. Talk about a statistics incident in your life recently. So, on my walk to work, I have to cross one stoplight, and it's a long. If you're waiting there, the maximum amount of time, it's like 95 seconds. It's a long time, and I'm just trying to cross the street. And it's at the end of the walk to work. And if it's hot, I'm like annoyed, right? And it felt like every time I got there, I was waiting 90 of the 95 seconds. Like it was just like life had just always thrown at me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I got mad enough about it that I actually started tracking it. I have a spreadsheet that every time I would go there, I would track it. And since I started tracking,
you're tracking the time from arrival to crossing,
the number of seconds I've got to wait before I can cross the street.
Right.
And I track it on my way, like going to work every time I cross that intersection. Sometimes it's 3 times a day.
Okay.
And I think I'm at like 36% of my total wait time. It's actually way better than I was expecting it to be. But
wait,
it's not
36% of your total wait time, meaning that 36% of the time you have to wait all 90 seconds.
No,
or 36% of the total 95 seconds.
My average wait time is 36% of 90 seconds. So like,
okay, so let's just call that 30 seconds. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh,
which
it's
is
interesting.
less than,
so like,
it's better than the average.
So that's fascinating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the perception, which I guess is almost more important than the statistics themselves.
Right.
Because it really doesn't matter. It was the way you were perceiving it.
Exactly.
That like industrial psychology is fascinating. It's really interesting.
It would. I mean, I would be there and I'd be like, man, I don't know what it is, but this intersection, I hit it every time. And then I like got the data. I'm like, no, you don't. And I'd stop worrying about it.
But like, is there something about the appearance or maybe the fact that it's in like the direct sunlight, even in the morning, or like what makes it so like irritating to you?
Well, the most irritating thing is literally showing up and it being like you can't cross, and now you have to wait 90 seconds.
Right, but you weren't.
That's a long time. I might have. So that's the thing. I like that's the data since I started tracking it. It doesn't. I don't know what the data is from before then.
So there could have been a change up.
It felt like 2 out of every 3 times I'm waiting the entire time.
And that's the key term, felt like. So Shira told me a story recently about this industrial psychologist that was brought into a company, and people were complaining about the air being stale in the office and how they made them lethargic. And the industrial psychologist tied streamers to the air vents and did nothing else. And everyone stopped complaining and said it was a huge improvement. All they did, so because they could see the air
Yeah.
blowing when the streamers moved, obviously. And I wonder if like there was a little canopy on that corner for you to have some shade, or I don't know, like a countdown timer. Would that make it much more tolerable? Interesting.
Well, the countdown timer exists. It's because
You can
it's
see
got
the
like
countdown.
the walk. It's got a walk signal, right? And so you can see those for the
Does it
other
have, like,
way.
a number, like a seconds countdown?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But I use my phone to time it on you can't it's hard to
Trust
explain.
that. I get it.
It's hard to explain. It's also this is related but not totally. Let me get rid of this. So the intersection, they're doing a lot of construction, and it's an old mall at that intersection, and they are literally tearing the mall down, ripping it apart. But there's still an active parking garage in the basement, like under the ground of that mall, and people park in there still. I see cars pulling in to park in a garage underneath a building that they are actively destroying.
Wow.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Would you park under that?
No, I wouldn't. Do they just not know?
It's hard not to know. I mean, literally, there's a crane. You can't pull past the garage entrance because there's a crane that they built. It's not just like a truck with a crane. It's like a crane that they've installed to pull off parts of the building one by one. But man, that's what they do. Parking.
I played golf with a crane operator recently. I was paired up with
Really?
him. Yeah. It was interesting. I mean, those guys haven't made, I guess I shouldn't make it seem like they got some kind of gift. They've set it up well for themselves. This guy had seniority and he didn't have to work. He was being paid while he was on the golf course with me. It's a lot of liability. The little bit of work that you do is stressful and has a lot of pressure. But at that point of his career, he's just a supervisor, whatever. He was that kind of a guy. Like, he's the kind of guy to explain that to you by hole 3. You know what I mean? His name is Billy. Billy was affable. Billy was a nice guy. Billy was big, big and strong, but mostly big.
A lot of liability.
So Billy and I, as we traversed the fairways of life together, he started getting into the groove, and then Billy, he started hitting some pretty long drives. Then he was like, dude, I never give people golf advice, but your left wrist, you're bending it really dramatically, and that's why you're snap hooking your drives. I stopped doing that, and I was just plugging them right down the center. So I'm liking Billy. I'm enjoying my time with Billy. And so I said to him, I was like, dude, you hit the ball a mile. He had a couple drives, 335, 320, 310, 320. So he's pounding the ball. And I said to him, I was like, hey man, have you always been able to drive this kind of distance, or what's your secret? And he goes, oh no, I'm on steroids. And I said, really? And he was like, oh yeah. You just go to your doctor, tell him your dick doesn't work. Tell him that you ain't got nothing in the tank. Yeah, he'll give you testosterone. It's incredible. I was down in Cabo, or Dominican Republic, recently, and I'm telling you, man, the testosterone is just kind of oozing out of me. Girls, they're talking to me out of nowhere. This one waitress, she gives me her phone number. I got to say to her, hey, I'm married, right? So then she sends me her Instagram, and I'm checking to see if we got any connections between her and my wife. I look her up. She's an 11. But I can't do it, because I'm married. I can't do it because I'm married. But that's the point. Go to your doctor, say your dick doesn't work. You get some testosterone. It's great.
Billy.
Yeah. I've never had someone just kind of outwardly pop up and yeah, I'm on steroids. Like
us. Yeah. That's a good random golf story.
I take vitamin B and it helps.
Yeah, I could take a multivitamin. I take a multivitamin every day.
Have you talked to any of your friends or anyone that's taken testosterone? Because
No,
he's not the first person I've heard it from.
I haven't.
Yeah,
Have
I've
you?
I've
Have you?
heard
You have.
I've heard it from a number of people. Yeah, that you know, I've heard it from a number of people that I'm positive didn't need it and were taking it, and like, I mean, they say you feel like you're 27 again. Doesn't sound too bad.
Cool. Let's do that. Maybe that'll drive
Wow.
some viewership.
I saw recently that there's like a ton of health risks associated with it and no proven medical benefits. So
No proven medical benefits. Said you just turn like it's like you turn into a 27-year-old.
yeah, but let's use our experience here. Has there ever not been a price to pay for feeling like you're 27 again?
Let's find out.
I could give you a few things that'll make you feel like you're 27. None of them good for you.
Yeah, right. I know that's a thing that people do, but I don't know. I've never considered doing that. Like it's not something I need.
It'd be nice to
Or
hit
feel
a
like I need.
30-yard drive, right? That'd be cool.
Okay, first of all, I don't want to hear about that this guy hit a 330-yard drive. Do you know? I mean, that's how are you basing that? Did you GPS it? Did you walk it off?
GPS on my watch, subtracting the distance,
No.
like taking the whole distance and subtracting the distance remaining to the pin. So not very scientific, but it gives you a pretty good ballpark.
There is people the overestimations.
It was the farthest I've ever seen anyone hit a ball in person.
Okay, that's one thing, but putting an actual yardage on it is the other. There is nothing more that is overestimated than recreational golfers overestimating the distance of either their shot or someone they played with shot. With actually, other than weather people reporting the size of hail falling from the sky on a storm. I don't want to hear any more of this softball size hail. Get out of here. People would be dead. No one seems to die.
Yeah, you're right. A softball sized hail there would be multiple fatalities. Well, hold on. Why don't you think it's possible for a Muni golfer to hit a drive 330 yards? Downhill, you get wind, you get roll. Like,
okay, well then that's less impressive. I think that I think it's possible. I've played with a guy who I remember this guy hitting a drive, and I'd be like, and I told him, I'm like, I've played this course a lot. I've never seen someone hit a drive there, but I don't know how far it was. Right, like I wouldn't estimate in my head how far the drive was.
Also, me and one of the other guys, after Billy gave me the swing tip, we hit pretty impressive drives, and I could barely even see his ball from where I was, and I'm probably in like the 240, 250 range. So it was a good poke.
I'm sure it was good.
Are you upset because Billy can drive the ball farther than you?
I'm out of here.
Is that what this is?
I'm out of here. Why are you going to cut to the core?
He's not clean.
This episode is over. That's true. He is he's artificial. Did you ever watch those long drives competitions?
Yeah, I have. It's really impressive. It's like kind of pushing the human body to the limit, right?
Yeah.
Like they have to change. I think the most interesting part is the augmentation of the golf swing in order to generate that much power. Like how they have to get up on their toes in the backswing and then leave their feet in the downswing, basically, or the follow through. It's pretty cool. And how far back they go. I don't know. Interesting stuff.
I like how few of them actually enjoy golf. There was one guy, he was like the national championships a couple years ago. He's an old baseball player, and part of his like about me section when they were introducing him, like he just wanted to make sure everyone who's watching this knows that he hates golf.
Interesting.
But he's there just to hit his drives as far as possible, and that's it. He does not want to find it. He doesn't want to go walk and like hit it again. He just wants to hit this ball far and then be done.
he's burdened by his insane ability. Right?
Yeah.
I hate golf. If it
it's
wasn't for the fact that I could hit one 400 yards, I wouldn't even be here.
that's it. That's all I'm doing. And I'm here as a favor to you.
Yeah. That's kind of
Yeah,
annoying.
man. It is. It was funny.
Yeah, it's funny, but it's
I wouldn't want to
insufferable.
hear that. I wouldn't want to be hearing that every time from that guy.
No. No. Do you so have you played the I want to talk about which game we play real quick.
Yeah.
I think two options. Well, obviously more than two, but if we I'm down to play PGA and I think we need to. We'll try. I'll download it right after we get off and we can do that next time. I was also thinking I think Zelda would be so much more of an entertaining game for us to interact with and to play. The challenge is that you don't I think it might be interesting for you to tell me where to go and what to do in Zelda.
It would be funny because you would, and then it wouldn't. We'd argue about it, and that
Yeah.
would be entertaining to
That's
watch back.
interesting. Yeah.
Set it up. I can't do anything on that one. You're gonna have to figure
Yeah.
it out.
Can you tell me real quick if there's a cheaper version that you know of that device I sent you?
The one you sent me was only what, $50?
No, it was like 250.
You sent me a different one that was less, I thought.
No, I said to you that there's different ones that are less,
Oh.
but I don't think.
Well,
I
then
was-
yeah, those are the cheaper versions. What do
But
you wait?
I-
What do you want
whenever-
me to do?
I want you to use that big brain of yours to give me some peace of mind, because whenever I see a product that's either 250 or $18, I'm typically missing something, you know? Like if they make a version that works for $18, why is anyone ever buying the $200 version?
Yeah, I don't know anything about capture cards because I have a PC, and
And you don't need one?
that's something. Maybe that's the thing. Just
Is that
instead
true?
of buying
You
a
don't need one?
no, I can stream directly from here through into like playing games. I would play that guitar game, and I've streamed it a couple times. Don't need a capture card. You need a capture card when you're using an external video source and you want to get it into the computer. So even if you were streaming from your Mac, you wouldn't need one.
Right.
But yeah, maybe this is your wake up call to get a PC, and then all of this, then the universe of games or content that we can do expands indefinitely, essentially.
Yeah, there's no way to get around it. Okay. Oh, I found it. Okay. Oxlaw game capture cards.
Let's see them.
Okay. Oxlaw game capture cards.
There they are. Look at all those.
This is the Elgato. See, this is $180.
So I think
and the other
that name sounds familiar. I think that's like
I mean, it's
kind of
definitely the one.
yeah.
But in this other sea of garbage, how do I know which one to pick?
I don't
Let's
know.
see the $30 one. Let's see if that one looks.
Let's
not a
read
good
some
sign.
reviews.
Or does that mean English? American flag English. Okay, I speak English. I live in America. Perfect. Experience.
It opened another window. I can't see what you're looking at. There you go.
I'm looking at Experiencia. Muy bueno. Works good. Quality
Works
is
good.
amazing, and it actually works. It works.
Well, it sounds like it works. I think
It
There you go.
works. It's
3
a good
stars.
alternative to some of the higher end capture cards, just without any of the bell. What's a bell and whistle for a capture card?
How often it captures.
Everyone seems like they're proud of themselves for getting it to work.
I figured it out.
Doesn't work well with Mac. Okay, this is
Well, then that's not good.
no. I don't like this one. Let's see the make it a bundle.
Related. There you go. Related products. Why don't you search for capture card Mac?
Well, I think that the only people using capture cards are Macs.
No, that's not true. If you're playing anything with an external video source, so if you're playing the Switch, whether you stream it through, whether you're working off of a Mac or a PC, you need a capture card. So Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, they all have to have a capture card if you're using your computer to stream. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Doesn't come with audio cord. Works.
Got a billion audio cord. You're off the screen again.
Thanks. It's hard to remember to do that. Misleading name, but works. Not 4K.
You don't need that off of a
so
fucking Switch. Isn't a Switch 720? I don't think a Switch is even 1080.
Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, until recently, they didn't even have a screen good enough to display content above 720.
Right. You got to think a Switch is going to get updated soon.
It did kind of a year ago. But yeah, I do think that I saw something recently that Nintendo is announcing an updated Switch. I just can't imagine they wouldn't have done that in conjunction with Tears of the Kingdom. A missed opportunity.
What other games they got? Well, they got that new Super Mario Brothers coming out. I don't know what they're. Yeah, like a side-scrolling one. Those games are fun, man. I obviously didn't play a lot of Super Mario Brothers growing up, but like we had a big snowstorm when I was living in that basement apartment. A big snowstorm coming. And I'm like, you know what? They just came out with a new one. I had a Wii, and so I went to the store and bought the new one because I knew I was going to be snowed in. It was. I still remember that. It was awesome.
That's
a good way to spend a weekend.
I downloaded the Mario Kart Deluxe 8, which was $60 on my Switch for my nephew. He played his first video game ever. It was a great moment. Abiel got a picture of the moment where I'm handing him the Switch, and his face is just like, it's pretty great. It is so smooth, and it's just like such a pleasant thing to watch. It's so much fun. You know, you think you've played enough Mario Kart in your life, like how interesting could it be? It's just such a cool experience. I don't know how they do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'd still play. Our nieces have Switches.
Yeah.
And we play Mario Kart whenever we go up there or they're around, whatever. And I win because they're one's in high school and the other one's in middle school. I'm like, listen.
Oh, really? You're beating a middle schooler?
I've been good at video games since before you were born.
Yeah, but different video games.
Doesn't matter.
3 buttons.
Give me a controller. Give me a couple buttons. That's it. I got it.
Yeah.
Don't need help.
I really look forward to the day that we're challenged by some Utes, and we're like, oh yeah, pull up NHLPA 93.
Right.
You think you're good at video games, huh? Well, then you'll have no problem with this one. When my dad bought this, the woman at the store said it was hard to score.
Is that true?
Yeah. My dad was at the video game store. It was actually, he did something nice. He said he was renting them and he actually bought them for us. You know, he was like being a dad. And I had played that game at Craig DeAndrea's house. So I already knew that it was not hard to score.
Yeah.
And the woman was like, I could hear the woman in the background saying, I don't know, I've heard that game's really hard to score. And I was like, no, it's not. Buy it or rent it. Like that's the one. Trust me. I don't know if he ever came down to see the score being 63-6, but
I think I don't know what your best score is. I still remember mine. It was 61-10.
Yeah, you have the record for most goals in a game. I believe I had the record for most goals with a single player, with Yzerman or Fedorov. But yeah, 61 is the record. Why don't we play that game?
If we could figure out how to do it, that'd be awesome. I definitely would do that.
Be an emulator, right?
I guess we couldn't play each other, but we could play it.
We couldn't play each other.
Well, that's how I don't know how that works. I don't think you can play emulator games remotely. I did. I have it. I have it on a drive somewhere. Because I remember playing it not too many years ago on my computer. I don't think I have it on this computer. Let me look. Because I do have some emulators. I've got a Super Nintendo emulator.
I mean, that would be... Dude, if we could play NHLPA 93, people... That could be our whole chant. Like that would be great. There's a lot of people our age that loved that game, that would love to see two guys score 60 goals on each other, with offsides turned off and line changes turned off.
That's right. No fatigue. No penalties. Penalties except for fighting.
Right. Except for fighting. I love that that's a setting.
Let me see if I can find it. I don't know that there's a way we can play it against one another, but we can definitely at least have it up here one day. Get up. And no one loves it. It's everyone sleeps on that game. Everyone talks about NHL 94.
You know, it's interesting. But I just came across. This guy gets it.
Oh, well, yeah, he does.
NHL 94 gets all the attention. The entire Hockey Nostalgia. Don't get me wrong, it's a great game. It's probably the reason I failed ninth grade algebra.
Jesus.
But it really doesn't hold a candle to NHLPA 93. Fighting was gruesome, and the guys' names were in it too. Kept stats. Jeremy Roenick. Roenick wasn't the best, but...
No, he was good. The Blackhawks were not the best.
Remember this?
That's it.
Just bring back some memories.
EASN, EA Sports Network.
Anonymous Goalie 32.
Did the goalie change color every time you started?
This is a good song. You should use this in your...
I'm gonna go ahead and turn that down a little bit.
This is a breakdown.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn that down a little bit. There you go.
You should use this in your music making. Or recreate it.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I could do that.
Oh, this is bringing back memories.
Steve Larmer.
I love the little...
What's the little move they do before they shoot? Is that them? That's them.
Like the slip move. It's like the slip animation.
Oh, because these are defensemen, they're poke checking. Oh, Shell Samuelson. The best teams. So the best team was Detroit. We never played as Detroit against one another because they were so overpowered.
We did. I was Detroit all the time.
I think it was.
No, I was definitely Detroit. That was my team. I was, and I put in Sergei Fedorov was not a starter. I put Fedorov at center and Yzerman on the wing, Bart on the other wing, Steve Chason and Nick Lidstrom at defense. And you, I believe, were Chicago.
No, I was New York. It was the Rangers.
Oh, that's right. You were New York. Yeah. Gartner.
It wasn't Long Island.
Or not Recchi. What's Messi? Not Messi. What's his name? Messi.
Yeah. It was Mike Gartner. Messi was the center. Mike Gartner was the right wing. I subbed in Darren Turcotte on the left wing.
Yeah.
I think Nemchinov was the left wing. He just wasn't as fast. It was all about speed.
That's all he needed. Speed, which is why the Red Wings were like Fedorov, Yzerman, and Yzerman were unstoppable. Do you remember when we talked about Steve Chason? I remember this from being young. I had the Michael Jordan Come Fly with Me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I won't repeat it, but yeah, it was not a tasteful joke.
Stupid. It's pretty, 6th grade jokes.
It was pretty funny.
There was a guy on the Rangers named Per Deuce.
Yeah, Per Deuce.
PERDJOOS.
Yeah.
And his ratings weren't good, but he would knock every player over anytime he hit them. Every time.
Wasn't Ty Domi? Yeah, because we would do the Ty Domi Bob Probert fights.
That's right.
Yeah. Probert was on the Red Wings.
Those guys it was funny when they fought people who weren't good at fighting because they would hit them so far that the other guy would swing and still be too far away to connect.
They'd fly back. The fact that that's what makes that game great is that there was a punch rating for Bob Probert.
Right.
That was dialed up to 99.
99. I think they were 100. Did they go up to 100 or was it 99? Because Ty Domi had the same thing. Those guys fought each other. It would go on forever. But I still remember like getting into a fight with Ty Domi with his back up against the glass on one side of the screen.
Check this out.
He would punch them across the ice.
Yeah, he would make them slide so far out of the way.
So this is NHLPA ratings?
93, yeah, this is the Red Wings. Yzerman was a 95, Fedorov 91, Yzerman 85. Probert was a 77. I want to see like the individual ratings. Tim Cheveldae was my goalie.
Yep.
This isn't deep enough. I want to click into them and see their breakdown of statistics. Mike Gartner. Okay, so there you go. Gartner was 90. These are like,
zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, this is the Hall of Fame, people in the Hall of Fame and their ratings. The teams we were playing with had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the top 6.
Yeah. The Penguins weren't that good in that game. What? That's not right.
Well, it was towards the end of his career, but that doesn't seem right.
He was amazing in that. He still played for the Kings. He was unbelievable. You couldn't knock him over. You couldn't knock Wayne Gretzky over, which is ridiculous because the guy wasn't big.
Yeah, they had Tomas Sandstrom on the other wing. It was Gretzky, Sandstrom, and Luc Robitaille.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That was a good team. We never really used them, but
they weren't as good. I mean, look, we figured it out. We were playing with 5 of the top 6 players in the game.
Yeah, and we're from Pittsburgh. We love the Penguins, and neither one of us played with Lemieux, Yager, and Stevens.
They weren't that good, man. Shell Samuelson?
Yeah, Ulf and Shell.
Here. No, it was Larry Murphy and Shell.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Larry Murphy.
Ulf was gone. Ulf was gone by then.
There's Nick Lidstrom. This was my star defenseman.
Yeah, Brian Leach. Brian Leach was on.
He was your guy.
He was on the
And Paul Coffey was on the. Was he on the? No, he was on the Red Wings in '94. But he was on. Was he on the Penguins?
No. I think he was gone by then.
Who was he on? What team was he on?
Was he? He wasn't on the Blues. I think he was on the Red Wings.
No, he was on. I think he was on the Blues. He wasn't. He was on the Red Wings in '94 because we just looked at the Red Wings roster. He wasn't on there. Konstantinov, I'd have to. This is the guy I put in whenever you'd kick the shit out of Steve Chason with Per Deuce, and he would be out of the game because his head was bloody.
Well, that was the problem. That was an actual strategy. You almost didn't want, if you're trying to win, you didn't want guys who would fight because they would get kicked off.
Yeah, if I was down
Or
to
they get hurt.
McCrimmon, I knew I was in trouble. I could still score 7 or 8 goals with McCrimmon, but it was tough. All right, so what was your team?
It's the Rangers, or as known as New York in NHLPA, not Long Island.
So there you go. Gartner, Messier, Darren
James
Turcotte,
Patrick.
you were right.
That's right. James Patrick. I had to sub in James Patrick because Jeff Bukaboom started over James Patrick. What the hell is that all about?
Yeah,
Chris King.
Well, because they had lines. Like they were trying to balance the lines.
Yeah, get that shit out of my face.
Dude, Ty Domi was a 20.
I know. And it's all fighting. The guy, it was hard to score with him.
The goalie matters too. So we both had good goalies, Richter and Cheveldae. But Richter was the superior of the two, if I remember.
He was good. I mean, the goalies, look, man, you score. If we were playing each other, it didn't matter who the goalie was. They all fell for the move. There's only one move, and they all fell for it.
I think the Bruins was another good team. Neely, Adam Oates, Bob Carpenter, Ray Bork, Glenn Wesley, and Andy Moog. Andy Moog.
Had 4 goalies on that team. Matt Delguidis.
Yeah.
How did he make the club?
Let's find out.
23. Lyndon Byers.
Right.
That would be something we should try if we could ever play it again. Is pick the team with the worst players and put them in. Sub everybody's got to be under a 30 who's on the ice. Is this him?
Yeah.
Just scroll up. He looks like he looks like a guy. You know those stories where it's like they have to have emergency goalies in the building.
Yeah.
Just in case. Or like he's actually he's like an accountant and he plays in a men's league and they needed somebody
for his card.
He's selling it. He's got a bunch of them. He's just trying to make $1.75. He played 11 games.
Where was Paul Coffey then?
He played 11 games in his career, and he made NHLPA 93. That's pretty good, man.
It is pretty good.
I'm into that. I like those stories.
I want to see that.
I wonder if who was the woman who played for the Lightning? Was she in that game? Manon Rhéaume. Remember her? Manon Rhéaume.
I don't have any memory of this.
There was a woman who played for the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think she might have only played in a preseason game.
I'm trying to find all of the.
I'm gonna find the full stat sheet. I think you're off the page again.
Someone's bragging about winning a game, scoring 22 goals in a game.
Scored 22 goals in a period. 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I've done some looking around. I don't think that there are better players on the planet than
I agree with
you and I were. Maybe not anymore.
Yeah, Tom Barrasso and Ken Reggett, who lived down the street from me.
Barrasso's a low rating there.
Yeah. And this was during the Cup years, too.
It was the year after.
I think they won in 93. Yeah. 92, 93.
Well, the 93 was when they were the best and they didn't win. They won like 16 games in a row to finish the season.
Did they go back to back in 90, 91, 91, 92?
Yes.
Kevin Stevens' 75 is terrible. Joey Mullen also lived on my street.
I remember, dude, I remember him showing up to Eisenhower and every kid, it was like during lunch or recess or something. We were all outside and he sat there and signed I didn't even have anything, but everyone was getting a Joe Mullen autograph. And so I had a notebook, like a ripped half of a piece of notebook paper. I'm like, he's
like, you sign my ripped notebook paper.
Yeah.
So
then that was it.
Joe Mullen We went to school with his kid. We went to school with Lindsay Trottier.
That's right.
Ken Reggett lived down the street from us.
We also went to school with, what other athletes? Kent Colby's daughter.
Yeah, Kent Colby's daughter.
Anybody else?
I'm sure one of Rick Tockett's kids was around. Jim Peck's maybe? Jim Peck got a 35. That's disrespectful. Like a 35, he's in the NHL.
Jim Peck.
A 35. Like 35 is like what you or I should be rated. That's like you can barely skate.
No.
That's like you can't skate backwards. It's a really bad rating.
Yeah, it's not good. It's better than that goalie who played 11 games. That accountant.
I'm trying to find Paul Coffey. This was a good team.
I think he played for the Blues. Don't quote me on that.
With Brett Hull.
Is there no way you can't just navigate through in here?
Find no, I don't know.
It's not the Blues. He didn't retire by then, did he?
It's PA93.com.
The best-selling 16-bit NHLPA Hockey 93, winner of Sega's Best Sports Game Award, now lets you skate with the greats. Each player is accurately rated in 14 skill categories based on their actual 1992 season performance. All the EA Sports special touches are there, from the detailed Zamboni to the screeching skates. If it's in the game, it's in the game. Fast, furious hockey action comes home EA Sports style in NHLPA Hockey 93.
This is a great website. I'm a big fan of this.
I think the game was actually well done. Like the puck flipped a little bit sometimes when you would flip, like it would roll. Like, I don't know, just like little things like that, or like the Zamboni driver would wave.
Remember
right?
Ron
They had the
Barr?
highlights. Remember when they had the highlights from other games?
Yeah.
Like little things like that were cool.
Oh, there
it was
is.
actually
Paul
a
Coffey.
good game.
Paul Coffey was on the Kings.
Oh, that's right. That's right. A friend of ours growing up, not ours, but a family friend, were cousins with him. And so obviously he was a huge Paul Coffey fan, and they got a dog and they named the dog King because he played for the Kings.
Mm.
I know.
Would have been cooler to call it Gretzky or Robitaille or Rob Blake.
Steve
Marty
Chason.
McSorley. Yeah.
Shell Samuelson. This is my new dog. I named him Shell Samuelson. Like, for the hockey player. Like, no. I just like the name. I like the way it rolls.
Because he loves seashells. When we go to the beach, he always digs up shells. So
it's spelled Shell. No, it's spelled KJELL.
Yeah, duh.
Shell.
Never met someone named Shell before. Yeah, I don't understand this for the life of me. Should we find out why? Why is 77 in HLPA 93? No one knows. Not only does no one know, no one's ever thought to ask the question.
So here's a question. Well, I have a question. I'm going to switch gears a little bit here.
Yeah.
What do you so let's say Allison's got dinner plans with work or friends or whatever, and you're not going. What do you do?
Okay. Ooh, great question. Like I've got the house to myself for the night?
Through dinner, at least. Are you ordering?
Right now? That's going to be takeout and Zelda, no question.
Yeah,
that's a takeout and Zelda.
But like from where? That's my question.
Something that I'm typically judged for ordering.
Yeah,
like a cheesesteak.
Those are tough, man. That cheesesteaks to go are just never great, man. They just aren't.
You're right. You're right. Oh, or maybe driving range. That might be one of the times I just go to the driving range and
Okay.
slowly hit a bucket of balls. What about you? Whoops.
I'm usually getting sushi.
Sushi.
That's my thing, because she didn't like sushi. But
Yeah.
anyway, I just got the text that she's got dinner with friends tonight, so I'm
a
figuring
treat.
I got to plan my whole day around this.
Yeah, it's a treat. It's a treat. I often get excited for that time. You know, like just so many things I want to do during that time that I get overwhelmed and don't end up doing any of them.
Yep.
Like
You lay the best plans.
The better question is, like, when Allison went to Tokyo for the week, what do you like if you get a week on your own? What do you do?
Yeah. That's after a while it gets to be
Yeah.
overwhelming. I just don't
Yeah,
do
you-
anything.
You remember we were
Watch.
doing a podcast and I had ordered my second super cinnamon bagel. And you were like, yeah, it's time for Allison to come home. Can't just operate on your own forever.
It's not that you are eating super cinnamon bagels. It's that you were ordering them from DoorDash for $15 multiple times. Like, all right, I still have not ordered anything from them. I refuse.
That's great.
To.
You shouldn't. That's like, I really admire you for not having done that. We're taking a big step up in the world. I ordered a king-sized bed and mattress yesterday.
You didn't have a king-size bed.
Correct. Our bedroom is small. So we have 4 bedrooms, but they're small, right? They're small bedrooms. And her sister and her sister's fiance are coming to visit. And like, we've had a few people stay here, and like the bed upstairs is like a full-size bed that I'm too tall for. So you would be really too tall for. And so her sister and her sister's fiance, who's very tall, are coming to stay with us. And I was like, we can't make them stay on that full-size bed. So let's move our queen upstairs and let's finally just do it. But because we've had a mattress fiasco, I went.
So ridiculous, man.
Because we had a queen, I was like, well, let's get a really nice mattress, right? And we'll wait until we're in a new house to get a king. And so we bought the avocado mattress with the pillow top for like $2,800, and Allison hated it. So then,
whoa. That's a brand, avocado.
Yeah, they're actually based in Hoboken, but it's like an organic mattress, whatever the fuck that means. But also like handcrafted, like supposed to be really nice, you know. Supposed to be really nice mattress.
Foam?
So hybrid. Foam and like foam wrapped coils. I don't know. I loved it. She didn't like it. So then we went the other direction and got the Casper Nova Cool Zone hybrid memory foam and spring. And she hates that one too. Both of them were like $3,000. So this time I'm like, no. Like I bought a Sealy from Costco for under $1,000. That's what we get now. So I don't know. I mean, I think the king is a big step up. Like, we've been sleeping in a queen since we've known each other.
Yeah.
So this is like a big deal.
Queen, it is. It's a big. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's going to be a different experience. It's not like you haven't spent the night in a hotel with a queen, a king size bed, but
yeah. Every time we do, we're like, fuck, we need to get a king size bed at home. This is so much nicer.
I wish they made bigger ones. Man, I could even use more space.
There's a Cal King.
But that's only it's longer. It's not wider.
Yeah.
I guess you could make it. Can you? Here's a question. So are California kings
together?
I want 2 kings. Yeah, I want my own king size bed. I want a room it's got to be 30 feet wide so I can fit 2 king size beds in there. If you bought a California king, do you have to orient it so that it is long as opposed to wide? Can you turn it 90 degrees? In other words, can you turn it 90 degrees and make it extra wide?
Well,
or does that mess up
a square?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's close to. I think it's a square. I don't know. Whatever. It's a typical king size bed, whatever they are.
Yeah. Mashira told me
they're not. It's not a square.
Like
it's definitely not a square because we have sometimes we put the sheet on. We have to.
Right, but they do make square kings. I think that might be what you're looking for. There's another one. There's another king. Let's see.
Well, California Kings are 72 inches wide.
The Alaskan
I think
king.
The Alaskan King is
Yeah,
huge.
it's a square. 108 by 108. That's what you need.
Right. Yeah. I don't think they don't like make sheets for those.
Okay, so there's a Wyoming king, a Texas king, and an Alaska king. All the Wyoming king is 84 by 84. Alaskan is 108 by 108, and the Texas is 80 by 98.
So I wonder whatever a Tempur-Pedic king is what we got. Oh, I almost just
You can get a family bed, which is a family bed is 144 inches wide and 84 long. That's what you want. Here, I'll show you. This is what you want. I like this. This is where you get the width.
the family bed. That's what you want. Yeah, right. 144 size. So is that one bed? How do you get that into any house, man?
I don't know.
That's the one thing. Have you considered, are they going to be able to get the bed inside? Like, is your house old? Does it have narrow
Yeah, I mean, I had
hallways
to,
and stuff?
in order to purchase it, I had to hit a button that said, yeah, I checked, but I definitely didn't.
Right.
I mean, it's not, you know, if they can get it into most houses, they can get it into here, but I definitely don't know.
The box springs are the issue. And I assume you got a
dude.
split. Did you get a split one?
No, we didn't.
Well, then you're
Allison-
never going to get it in there. Why do you mean
What, the box spring?
What happened? Yeah, that's the hard part because they're not flexible. You can't bend them through doors.
No, they're not, unless you get one that's a steel frame.
What?
Yeah.
You got a steel framed full size box spring for this king size bed of yours? Yes?
I tried to talk her out of this, but
No. Okay. Show me what you're looking at. I want to make sure we're talking about the same thing.
I know that's a platform bed.
There's the frame box
Yeah, I know.
spring
It's not
mattress.
the frame. It's a
Yeah.
box spring. It's a steel box spring. This.
So can you build it or does it come built?
You build it.
Because well, then you can get it upstairs.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But I don't like the idea of a steel frame because I think it's going to be squeaky, but I got overridden.
Yeah, maybe. It's not going to matter though. You're going to be sleeping so good in a king size bed.
For a little
think
while at least.
Every bed, yeah, right. I think the most expensive beds last longer, but they're all comfortable as soon as you get them.
That's exactly what I said to Allison. I was like, we're saving money on the stitching, the material they use to cover the mattress, the quality of the build. That's what we're sacrificing, but who cares? We'll just get a new one.
You get another bed in 4 months, 4 years, 5 years.
4 months.
Fine. 4 months. It sounds like you might.
Yeah, well, on the pace that we've been on, I kind of wish we had just bitten the bullet and bought the king to start with, because I would have got a really nice one. Like there's not Hyatt. One of the hotel chains has like I forget what it is. Wyndham, maybe. I don't know.
It's the dream bed or something like that.
Yeah.
I know
The
what
guy
you're
in the
talking
office I work with, he has one, and he's like, dude, it's the fucking best. But it's like $4,000, so I wasn't about to do that.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, maybe it's different whenever you actually get your own place.
Yeah, right.
Man, you use that bed every day.
Totally.
It doesn't.
I'm all
Who
for it.
cares?
Like, I'm a big advocate of, spending the money on the things that you spend the most time with, but it's the third mattress I've bought in the last like 6 months. There's no chance I'm going all out.
I didn't realize it was that 3 and 6 months is a long time. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
We were able to return the avocado though, but the Casper we're sticking with. Do you know that if you get a mattress and they're like, you get 100 nights to try it out. If you return it, they just throw it away. They can't resell it.
Right. Maybe they
Organic my
donate it.
ass.
I mean, yeah. Talk about the margin on those things that they could just.
Yeah, I know. Like, how do they make money?
Like, well, yeah, well, that's fine. Here's your money back. Thanks for trying.
Right.
Maybe they donate them to like shelters or something like that.
So there's someone sleeping on a pillow top organic bed in the shelter.
Maybe it's a tax write off
Yeah.
for avocado. All right, man.
I gotta get the day started.
Yep. See ya. Download that golf game and we'll do that.
I'll do it right now.
All right. Peace.
All right. Later.